Hello ladies and gents, welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to review, document, and sound demo this beautiful guitar. This is an Ibanez JivaJr. It is Nita Strauss signature series guitar. The color Ibanez calls it the Deep Sea Blonde, and let's get right into the specs and features of this guitar. So right out of the factory, this guitar comes with an Ibanez Edge 2 bridge, Ibanez Quantum pickups. As far as your controls, you have one master knob for volume and another master knob for tone, a 5-way pickup selector. The fretboard material on this guitar is ebony. You've got that really cool EKG inlay on the fretboard, which Ibanez calls the beaten path, and it's got 24 jumbo frets. The neck on this guitar is a one-piece maple neck. It is a Wizard 3 neck by Ibanez. And what's really cool about the neck on this guitar is that the side dots, the fret markers, are lumen lay. So basically they glow in the dark. They're made out of that material. I don't know if you guys ever had these as a kid, those stars that you would put up on the ceiling, which would glow in the dark after you turn off the lights for a few minutes. It's basically that, but on the side dots, which, you know, I was sort of disillusioned by this, because although they look very cool when you charge them up with light to glow in the dark, it doesn't last that long. So it'll probably last you like the first 2 songs you play on stage, but it won't last you the rest of the gig. So again, it's one of those things that's better in theory than in practice, but it's a really cool extra that comes with this guitar, so I just wanted to point that out. It's still a really cool extra, even though I was, disillusioned by it. I can't deny that it's a cool feature, but again, it's just one of those things that's better in theory than in practice. On the back of the headstock, you guys will see that the tuners are unbranded. They're not Grover or anything. They're just cheap Ibanez tuners that they put on all their lower end guitars, which, they hold tune pretty well, so I can't bitch too much about it. The back of this guitar is pretty straightforward and simple. It's just plain black, so no graphic on the back. The neck is thin and it feels good to play with it. So really good quality, as I come to expect from Ibanez, even with their cheap guitars. The neck joint area of this guitar also feels good when you're playing. You can easily access all the frets. There's no access carving on this guitar, but honestly it doesn't really need it. I mean, again, you can access all the frets and play with ease with this guitar. Also, this guitar's body shape is an S-style. For those of you that aren't familiar with Ibanez, their S-style guitars are just thin, and they try to make them thin and lightweight, so they're very comfortable, and this guitar is for the most part. So these guitars go for around $799 new. I'll be honest with you guys, I wouldn't pay this much for one of these guitars because, they don't even give you branded tuners for it, but admittedly, it is a really good guitar. I got this guitar brand new for $500. I'll be selling it for $550, so a small amount of profit, and I get to document it. So I'm pretty happy about that. The guy that's buying it from me is actually going to give it to his daughter for Christmas, so I think that's very wholesome, and I'm happy with where this guitar is going to end up. But if you get one of these guitars for $600 and below, I think you got a good deal. Anyway, let's get into the tone test. Hey guys, so after owning and playing this guitar for a little while, I've got to say that this guitar feels good to play. It does have a little bit of neck dive. The neck is definitely heavier than the body, but it's nothing that gets in the way of your playing. If you play with it sitting down, you don't feel it. If you play with it standing up, it stays put. When you have a strap on, it's just when you hold it like I am right now that you can feel that the neck is definitely a little heavier than the body. The pickups on this guitar are very good, particularly the neck pickup. This guitar is definitely tailored to shredders, and again, there's a certain clarity on the neck pickup that I really like, whereas neck pickups on a lot of guitars are made to be very bassy and kind of hide your mistakes when you use distortion. On this guitar, it's very clear. It's almost got that necrophagist neck pickup tone, which a lot of people dig. And again, good job, Ibanez. These pickups are very good. Admittedly, overall, in terms of quality and construction, this guitar is no better than the RGs I've reviewed on this channel, which I have mixed feelings about because this guitar is almost twice the price as those. So like the RG 450 that I've reviewed, it's this guitar in construction and feel is about the same, but I'm not necessarily saying that in a bad way. What I'm trying to say is the RG 450 that I reviewed is a really good quality guitar in terms of sound, feel, and construction, and so is this guitar. But this guitar right here is more or less twice the price of that. With that knowledge and having owned the RG 450, I kind of expected a little more when I got this guitar. So when I got it and realized that the extra money I paid went into what makes this guitar look pretty, the side dots and the color burst, and of course some of the money goes to Nita Strauss for sponsorship, I was a little bit bummed out, but that's not to say this is a bad guitar by any means. So I'm primarily an ESP guy, and secondary a Jackson guy, and third I'm a PRS guy. So with that in mind, I can tell you guys that Ibanez makes some great guitars. So this guitar, along with the RG 450s I reviewed, the mid-range priced guitars that Ibanez puts out, they're really good quality guitars, and if you take really good care of them, they will last you a very, very long time. So this guitar right here falls under that category. This is a guitar you can get as a beginner, as an intermediate, or as an advanced guitar player if you just like how it looks, and it'll definitely last you your whole musicianship life if you take really good care of it. So I just wanted to say that my unbiased opinion towards Ibanez guitars is that they make some really, really good quality guitars even when they're cheap end, and they put a lot of thought into them, which is always appreciated. The lumen-laid side dots, again, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't think they're as practical as they sound on paper or in theory, but they're nothing, how can I say this, nothing backwards in the guitar industry. They're becoming a lot more common, and I don't have a problem with that, but it's not something that I would consider a deciding factor as to why I would get a certain guitar or anything like that. I know some companies are including the ultra blue luminate side dots, which shine a lot brighter, so I think that's a really good idea, because like the ones on this guitar, they won't last you more than a few songs in a gig, unless you just want to carry a flashlight around and keep charging them. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the luminate side dots. These particular guitars do not come out of the factory with any case or any gig bags, but fortunately for us, these Ibanez guitars fit most standard size cases and gig bags. Another thing to note is that the bridge on this guitar, the whammy bar, it's a very specific whammy bar with a screw that's a little wider than your standard Floyd Rose screw. So if you get one of these guitars that does not have a bar and you try to use like a Floyd Rose bar, it's not going to fit. So I know those bars can get really expensive because they're Ibanez branded and very exclusive to that particular bridge. So that's something to keep in mind when you get one of these guitars, especially if it doesn't come with a bar for the floating bridge. Okay guys, conclusive thoughts on this guitar. In terms of sound, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. So great sounding pickups. Listening back to the tone demo, I noticed that the neck pickup has a volume boost, so maybe that's why it stands out above the other pickups. And anyway, great sounding pickups. In terms of construction, I give this guitar a 9 out of 10, basically what I gave the RG450. In terms of aesthetics, I give this guitar a 9.1 out of 10. So beautiful guitar. The only things that would make this guitar look more beautiful would be maybe mother of pearl inlays, maybe the burst could have like a glow in the dark effect, or maybe the graphic could be in the back as well. But as is, it's still a beautiful guitar. In terms of feel, I give this guitar a 9 out of 10. It feels good to play and hold, almost as good as the Ibanez Gen I reviewed last year. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm just going to show you what this guitar comes with. And if you guys have any questions, comments about this guitar, leave them in the comments. Outside of that, you guys take care, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.